So here we started to have a script. Then we try to manipulate the function and try to explain what is the pass by references, what's the differences. Okay, we have the main function right here. And the main function, actually we will have the x equal 1. Okay, before the call. Okay, before the call, x is, yeah, we just print x here. And then we call the other function. So we have to give that another function. We call that incremental, increment that parameter is n. And then when somebody call that, we will plus 1. Yeah, and print because it will inside the function. So we type print. And now here we use the backslash with T with a jump temp, right? And then we told that n a space. It's without a space because this also already have the 8 spaces. So it actually 8 spaces. So we can put here. Otherwise, we make the spaces, they will become 9 spaces. So n inside inside the function is n, right? And then back to here, we try to call this function, but we call this function with x. We call this function, yeah, with x. So maybe you will think x equal 1, print before the call, x is 1, right? And we call that incremental, make it increment, make x as a parameter, as an argument, and put into this function. And then we will print after the call, right? After the call, x is. So here, after the call, x is. Yes, and then these are 2 functions. So we want call main and trigger all the function. Let's we'll see what's the result. Yeah, so that's up. Yeah, here we can see the result. First, before the call, x is 1, very clearly, right? And incremental x here move into the function, and the function will be, the n will be plus 1, right? So inside, n inside the function is 2, here is 2. But actually, the n will not affect the x at all. So after the call, x is still 1. So this is a path by references. So actually, this is x equal 1 before, no matter before the call or after the call, because when it call the function, but actually the x will not change at all. It's passed by references. So we just let you know the x will not, because we make the incremental function do something, change it. It didn't change anyway. Okay, so it's passed by references, although the value in the function changed, but actually you will not affect original the x. Okay, so this is called pass by references. So this is the outcome. Yeah, and there are 8 spaces here. It's just like backslash t means we have the 8 spaces here. So pass parameters by references. So values and strings are immutable objects. The content of the unchangeable objects cannot be changed. So when assigning a value to a variable, Python will create a new object and assign the references of the new object to this variable. So what does that mean? So for example, we assign 4 to X. It means we will create a new object. This object is X. And to reference is 4 means we'll record, memorize what is 4 is stored. And also we use the Y equal X. It means Y will to go to remember what the X after X. Yeah, so when we assign 4 to X, it means X have to memorize the address in the computer, address of 4. And we also call that Y equal X means Y will have to remember what is the address of X. So when the ID here, oh, this is the address, right, of X. So actually, we also call the ID Y. It will also have the same address because the Y equal X, right? Y equal X. You assign X to Y, so Y will to remember what is the X remember, but X will also remember the position of 4. So actually this value is a 4. This value address, the address of the 4. So everyone references the same position. It means, well, references the same position. So when the X change, the Y will also change in the same time because they references the same position. So when Y equal Y plus 1, Y now points to a new int object with value 5. It means you will remember not the address of 5 because 5. This value also have its address in the computer. So we can use the ID, do it again, and Y will remember another position. So you can see this figure. Actually, X equal 4, so it's an object for int 4, and the address is ID 414508920, right? This is the full address. And when we assign Y equal X, he will remember the same address. But when we make the Y equal Y plus 1, it means Y equal 5, right? It will create another object. We call that integer 5. And Y will go to remember its address. So it's a little bit different because actually we assign a variable, a value actually is to remember the address. So it will not change the value.